I've just spotted something interesting. Oh, it's coming right at me. I love how disappointed it sounds when it finds I've got nothing in cargo. Now let's follow him and see what he's up to. It's so dark I'm forced to use the image processing to see what's going on, so...
Landing gear retracted.
Ah, he's going that way. Once our visitor here has left, I'll explain where I am. But until then, just enjoy the show. External camera. Not a very good angle, but hey. Oh, that was cool. I've watched Thargoids jump out before, but I've never seen that gravitational lensing around their jump point. That implies that they are using a... well, we already knew this, but it further confirms that they are using a fundamentally different jump technology to humans. Because you don't see any gravitational lensing like that with human jump drives. Alright. But now that I'm alone... let me explain what that dude was doing here. We're going for a walk. So that Thargoid, as you might have guessed from its behaviour, was looking for something. Specifically, he was searching this wreck of a ship here. This ship is known as the Bug Killer. And it's, or is, or was, a heavily armed Anaconda-class vessel. Let's just jump up on top of the hull. Jetpack! The Bug Killer belonged to a guy called Clark Barrow, who fancied himself as something of a podcast personality. And you can actually listen to his podcasts if you scan his ship, you can download the one he was recording when he was shot down. And he fancied himself as the hottest pilot in this whole star system. He bragged about everyone else was scared of the big bad alien murder flowers, but not Clark Barrow. He'd make them regret every time they ever showed their 8 tentacled faces round here. We don't even know if they have faces. But, you know, he didn't let that stop him. So, after days of searching, he encountered a Thargoid. And he immediately attacked it, yelling, and I quote 2 things, and I quote, "I'm here to kick ass and drink milk, and I'm all out of milk." And bragging about how he can't wait to tell for the Pilots Federation to acknowledge him as the first commander to have shot down a Thargoid. Yeah, it didn't go so well with him. Because you see, Clark Barrow was an idiot. And what Clark Barrow didn't have on the Bug Killer was any specifically designed anti-Thargoid weaponry. You see, most human weapons just simply don't work on Thargoids. The most you'll do is tickle them and annoy them. You need specifically designed weapons to work that are effective to be effective against them. He had none of those and got the shock of his life when, after giving it a full volley of his lasers, all it did was get angry at him, and it attacked. Because, as I said, human weapons don't work on Thargoids. Unfortunately for Clark Barrow, Thargoid weapons work just fine on humans. And the Thargoid shot him down here. Panicking and unable to believe that he was the great Clark Barrow, was being shot down, he abandoned ship after the landing, which, as you can see, tore the guts out of the Anaconda, and he set off in more or less this direction. In his surface rover. Now, it's going to be a bit difficult to find at night, so I'm going to use the nav panel to ease the job. Clark fled this way, still recording his podcast as he went, and even mentions that he doesn't even know the name of the planet he's on, so, you know, good luck to him getting a distress beacon out. And over in this direction you will find the wreckage of Clark Barrow's surface rover, which, when we first arrived, when I first started recording, had that Thargoid ship, the murder flower that was here when I started recording, was sniffing around this rover here. Let's find a landing spot. It was sniffing around the wreckage of his surface rover here, because he escaped from the ship only for the Thargoid to chase him down and also destroy his surface rover.
Flight assist off.
But once I've touched down, you will see that there is one thing that is conspicuous by its absence here.
Flight assist on.
Let's just head over. I've landed in such a way that the remains of his rover should be nicely illuminated. There we go, by my ship's headlights. This isn't my normal ship, by the way. This is my little long-distance jumping ship. My little rock hopper called the Ascendant. Anyway, it doesn't do much, but what it does do, it's very good at, and what that is travel long distances. Anyway, so over here you've got the wreckage of Clark Barrow's rover, surrounded by this green marking on the ground is very typical of Thargoid weapons fire. And please note, the cockpit is empty. Again, you can see that the rover was absolutely smashed up. It's dropped cargo, its guts are all over the floor, and the final piece of the puzzle is over here, propped up to a rather odd angle because game physics. Oh, there it goes. Is a one-man stasis pod, a saviour pod, An escape pod, if you will. But I can tell you from past experience, that pod is empty. He may have escaped from his SRV, but Clark Barrow never made it to that escape pod. And a lot of players have searched, and there is no footprints leading away from here. So we can only conclude that Thargoid that we saw that was sniffing around his SRV when we arrived has captured Clark Barrow. And honestly, he was such a massive tool, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. And that is the story of the bug killer. And God, he was a dick. Thanks for watching.